What's up, everyone? It's Coach Austin here with the Nerd Out and Workout podcast, where we nerd out, workout, and podcast. And today I have Joey and Josh from Progressive Motion. They are back on the show. You actually have been watching and listening for years. They were actually part of our initial season, and I'm very excited to have them back. Welcome, guys.
Hey, thank you, Austin.
A little bit of an intro, all right? So it's called Progressive Motion. It used to be called Progressive Motion Therapy.
Physiotherapy.
Or physiotherapy. Yeah. Now it's just PM, yeah?
PM, Progressive Motion.
Right? And then you guys go by the 3 R's. That's what I know.
Yes, sir.
Let me try it. Reset, reorganize, reload.
Bam!
Where's that?
Where's my logo?
3R. Let's go.
So the way these gentlemen approach their clients is when a client's going through pain, they treat the client as a huge puzzle, and they're going to figure out muscle, joint, ligaments, bone. They're going to find that piece and connect it all together. So you, if you are their client, can optimize. I'm like mumbling my words, but you can move better and live more life. I hope to God I got that right, but you let me know if I actually hit that.
Heck yeah, man.
You hit it.
Well, welcome, guys. Thank you guys for coming out. So, what you guys been up to?
Oh, man. We've been continuing to dive into books, just trying to hone the actual hard skill set of being a physio and just helping out build out the educational side of our system. So definitely been in the books, and the educational books to the business books. Trying to master all the stuff of leadership, which me and Joey have been on that journey. It's like trying to lead yourself, but now trying to also lead people to the goal. So it's been quite a journey, man, in that regard, for sure.
Dude, that's good. What else?
Yeah, no, I mean,
more.
with the clinical side and the coaching side, like there's so much that we also need to answer from the brand marketing side, right? Mm-hmm. Because for us being in this industry, while it makes sense to us, there's a lot of people out there that don't even know that this is for them. And so the thing that we have been putting a lot of focus on is, how can we start telling more stories so that the stories are the I would say the intersecting connective tissue to someone else that needs to hear this message and see that this is for them, right? And so it's just been a long pursuit of just like learning more about marketing. What are we actually promising as a brand? What's our vision, mission, and how are we showing up as a company? And that leads down a whole another rabbit hole to how do we, one, do it for ourselves as leaders so that we can better communicate our ideas to our staff so that they can find meaning with it for themselves. So it's a hard one, man. That's a hard one.
Multi-pronged approach. Yeah. Not only keep the team motivated, but also motivate the clientele to hit the goal. So it's been cool.
That's part of the journey.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys have been doing these networking events. You guys hosted one here.
Yeah.
It's called the Motion Collab.
Yep.
How's that going? What's the overall mission so far with that?
Yeah, well, the collab, man, we took quite a break. Our last one we did last August with Jeremy Lin.
We did mini collabs, though.
Oh, we did. So
we did mini collabs.
We did do mini collabs. Last big one we did was in August with Jeremy and Graham Betchard. But then we did mini collabs where people on our staff will host just like a mini one where, again, very low touch point in regards to, it's not a really ticket, it's just like, let's all show up here, and it's allowing people to do some networking in like smaller venues. Mm-hmm. But again, our mission with that is a way to intersect networking and education, but bring this big old area of the Bay all together in different regions so that we can actually connect with and share resources. So
yeah, no, that was one thing we realized when we do a lot of coursework down south, and they have like a tight community there, man.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's like, we're like, what the heck? We come up here and we don't even know the PT down the street. So it was like the goal of it was to bring like the whole health and wellness field together to network and learn together too, because we're bringing some pretty cool speakers. So it's been working. It also is recruitment.
It's been nice because I think we have like 10 coaches now between part-time, full-time. Seven of them in some way, shape, or form came through a Motion Collab event. So that's the beautiful thing, right? So even for people that haven't pulled up, like you should, if you use it with intention, you'll meet a lot of people that you can attract into your business. And we're not shy about giving people and deploying that permission to show up to do it for that reason too. Because what's been cool is like if people exude any interest into our company, we'll just say pull up to our next collab, and we don't need to speak about our culture. You can feel our culture.
So beautiful.
And so then it engages a better conversation. It's been easier on our part to like vet out.
Yeah, dude. No, because I noticed the people from the last event, and then I noticed the people you brought on. I'm like, oh, I remember that guy. And I was like, oh, that massage. Oh, they brought him. Okay, good. No, that was good.
Big E.
Eric is right here.
No. Yeah, because he was like, I remember seeing him, and he was just kind of, you could tell like people are like, oh, I'm just, and then I talked to him, and then he started getting going. And that's when I was like, man, I see what you guys are doing. This is really good. And with that, you said SoCal, right? Or you said down south.
Yeah, down south. Yeah,
they're more connected. I just noticed not just like physiotherapists, like personal in the training space, in the recovery space, those coaches in general, they like know each other. They they hang out or they kind of know each other already. But here in the Bay Area, it's so like, yeah, I don't know that person. Or, we're not as connected here versus SoCal. And SoCal's so much bigger. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's what trips me out too. Like, it is definitely more of a community vibe down south. In the Bay Area, it's very like, oh, you're in San Jose? I'm in Palo Alto. It's like, oh, well, okay. But with you, so you're taking a break from the collab.
But we have one coming.
Oh! Please explain.
Be ready.
March 28th. March 28th. That's a big one with our two mentors. So Claire Frank, as if you landed on our page every Friday, Claire's all over it, right?
She's a badass.
She's heavily influenced everything that we do. So I'm always going to highlight her. But the cool part about her is we're intersecting this collab with Rashana Moss, who's our individual performance coach, mental performance coach. Wow. But she also teaches mindset workshops every month for our team so that our team is deployed with the resources to understand who they are as a person and see how that intersects with the vision of PM. Or if not, they'll probably find their way outside of the company.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's good stuff,
We
man.
just want people lined up for their...
I always say, man, you could tell, like you want to know that somebody is working on themselves so that they can help you work on yourself, right?
I mean, that's
so it's always like, I always say, when somebody's been punched in the face too, and you'd be like, all right, I respect it.
It's true though. You kind of know when someone's gone through
through
it.
You can tell me what to do.
Yeah. But you kind of going, well, it's also, you're asking people to kind of develop in this journey and fight through a lot of they're facing adversity and you're there to guide them. Yeah. And if you're a super green person who's never been through adversity, what is that? You know what I mean? Like that's that's a great point. And where is this at? Where's the collab at?
It's gonna be at San Carlos, one of our sublease locations, Maximum Performance.
Nice.
And so it's gonna be a good one, March 28th. It's in the evening. And so yeah, we'd love to have you out there, man.
Friday.
It's a Friday night. Yeah, that's been what's been working for us.
Yeah.
I think we've gone back and forth, but it's just been consistently hitting on that Friday night.
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So Friday, March 28th at 6. I will try.
We'll have links for the bio on that one.
Oh yeah.
I'll put in the show notes. I'll put the links. Yeah, give me the links. I'll put in the show notes. People can talk about it. But do people need what can they expect? I know you kind of gave a broader term of it, but what can the person who's never been doing this, who are you trying to reach out to and why should they come out?
So, like I was saying, originally it's almost like healthcare providers coming together network, but we've opened it up to our clients, to anybody that is curious about movement and health. So ultimately, anybody who's curious about moving better, anybody that's curious about the mental performance sides and what frameworks are out there are welcome. Whoever wants to grow, whoever wants to improve is a Motion Collab candidate.
That's an important part right there. Like you have to kind of crave growth and have curiosity about expanding your mind into something that might be new. And that's kind of our strategy in wedging mental performance with movement, because I think it's widely accepted that we need movement, right?
Yes.
Like there's gyms, there's training centers, we all know we need to move. I believe since COVID, it's definitely trended up. Like we're all talking about meditation now and mental performance, mental health, self-care. I think it's becoming more accepted, but I still don't think it's something that people are truly seeking out, right? And so by us wedging, which I think is really the meat of everything, we're putting it with something like people that are more accepting of movement. So we're gonna put mental performance here, and then they're gonna realize that Rashana's gonna drop the hammer on certain things.
A lot of people kind of overlook mental performance, right? It's like, no, I just got to wake up at 4 a.m. and run. But you don't know, but that's a great approach that you guys are having. How was the last one?
The last what?
I'm sorry. How was the last motion collab? How was that experience?
Oh man,
because that was like a big
so
one.
nervous, dude.
Because you had Jeremy Lin, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've never. What do you call that? We did a fireside chat. What do you call that?
Like guiding, or like what you're doing right there, guiding the conversation.
We did a fireside chat
With him.
It was just me and him. We had a conversation over 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Did you like train him though? Like, or you helped him out?
Yeah,
or?
but I've never guided a conversation
on
stage.
On stage.
With like 120 people.
Oh yeah, no, it gets a lot.
I was just nervous, but you know, I mean, we wouldn't have never looked back and be like, damn, that would have happened, you know. And so, it was amazing to see all the different people. We had, like you said, 120, 150 people there. We collaborated with Esface, Dele, AAU basketball group. He's the one he basically threw us the assist to Jalen, so you know it was only right to collab with him on that. And then his brother, Tunde from Street Code Academy out of EPA, he was a part of that event too. And so that's beautiful, bro. Like, I mean, this is kind of, I always call like the collabs as like little spiritual bumps for myself and Josh, because you know, right now, the way the business is set up, we're all separate, we're all in silos. And for me, it's like, man, those are the spiritual bumps that just give me like continued hope that like, all right, we're doing the right thing, man.
No, you're doing a great thing. I mean, from the outside looking in, from watching you guys, because, you know, I do want to come to the events, but like, you know, I have like my little baby. But like, I watch you guys on social media and it's killing it, dude. Like the way you may have been nervous, but the way it looked like you were just owning it on stage with Jeremy Lin, dude. Now it was so good. It's an inspiring thing, and I want you to hear that because it's great. You're inspiring me as a business owner. Like I'm always trying to like, you know, you guys are doing brick by brick, and that's kind of like that focus too. It's like, dude, I got to do it brick by brick because even though you're in separate silos, as long as you're bringing that connection, you know, home isn't a place; it's like a people, right? So that's why you're wherever your home is, you're bringing that together and you're making it bigger, and that's great. And so, with that, with the motion collab, all that fun stuff, with the type of clientele you're serving now, what's the typical clientele you're serving now? Like, who is in need of your services? Like, you can say, you know, everyone, but who is the typical person, individual? Where are they at in their own personal journey, and where do you help them out at?
We almost have three buckets that we kind of clientele that come to see us. We have like the high level athlete that just wants to perform better, recover, and maybe definitely has to make some pains that we work through. We have the weekend warrior that just wants, like me and like Joey, I want to call ourselves weekend warriors though. We're like, we're daily, but
modified athletes.
Yeah.
Modified, hybrid athletes.
Hybrid.
Yeah. Still getting after it.
There you go.
So working out and creating programs for them. And then the last one's almost like the person that didn't even know they needed it, like the stay-at-home mom that just wants to be able to have no shoulder pain while holding the baby. They come and see us, and then we convert them into athletes because you're a life athlete if you're living.
Yeah, that's true. I think the big part of it too, like within those buckets, like we're attracting people that have been kind of held back or frustrated with their current state. And I think our job is, like, this is the thing that we've been kind of encouraging with our team. It's like, it's beyond training, it's beyond physio, it's beyond chiro, it's beyond mental performance. It's getting people to understand the current limitations that they're experiencing and the thoughts that are around that. Our job is to spark curiosity so that they can actually think about beyond what they thought was possible for them, right? And so with that comes understanding the person. But in order to understand the person, you got to go deeper into like understanding yourself. And that's why we're just like constantly trying to figure out like, damn, how do we help ourselves? All the conversations we've had internally, but then we're also like, man, how do we be better leaders to help our staff understand that, so that the person on the other side that's receiving that help has an opportunity to do so. And so we're just trying to go deeper and deeper and deeper in the layer, because
it goes deep.
Tiring.
Like I've gotten to a point now where it's like, yeah, there's the physiological adaptations that occur with training, which is 100.
Yeah.
But I almost look at it as the movement's a vehicle for providing hope again. It's the belief systems that are broken by lifting the heavier weight that matter more than lifting the heavier weight itself.
Preach, come on, John.
I know, man.
Okay,
I'm telling you, my home dealer. I know. And that's where the SEDS principles, the specific adaptations to applied demands, man. As you go up in weight, your confidence goes up with the weight.
Yeah.
And then suddenly your beliefs, because perception's reality, what you think you feel, it's all Tony Robbins stuff.
You guys are right. And what is the most common thing you see with people that you're taking in? Like what has gotten them to a point to reach out to you guys?
A lot of it, we are kind of a lot of times the last resort because we're out of network.
Okay.
So they've been through the grind of kind of the cookie cutter approach, the TheraBand exercises that's not using SEDS principles. A diagnosis becomes their identity.
That's a big one.
My shoulder has a torn labrum I could never throw again or something, or my low back has degenerative disc.
No, I see that.
Yeah.
I get that a lot.
And your belief becomes your truth.
And the problem is the system that it's curated in, right? Because they go in with good intention, and this is no hit on, where people will typically go when they have pain.
Sure.
They'll go to the general physician, right? And it's not a bad thing. It's just we're in the field of specifics within movement, right? That's our specialty. And when we have that as our vehicle in helping someone, we can look at a diagnosis, but then really what our responsibility is to use our assessment to look at the pieces that we can manipulate. And what can we do to manipulate to help change that experience that they're dealing with in their body? Mm-hmm. Now, whether or not it changes the actual pathology of it,
right.
The data points show us it's some crazy number. 70% of pitchers have torn labrums without symptoms. Like if you look at the low back degenerative disc, which is a common one that people always tell me, oh, my back's bad, I got degenerative disc, which it is a normal process of healing, but doesn't mean you have to be identified as somebody with degenerative disc, that you have pain now and you can never get back to the things you want to do. And that's where our two fields are so beautiful from a sense of training and physio. The end game is progressive over. It's the strategic frame roadmap to get them to the goal.
Yes.
So it's like the gradual load.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
go ahead.
No, I think that's where people get lost.
Yeah.
That's why we're still learning.
Yeah.
Every day. We're in a mentorship right now, and it's like helping people with a map so that they actually know where they are and then where they're actually headed, so that it almost disarms them from the fear. And that's I think the big thing is, how do we disarm people from the fear of not being what they want to be? Because our own, and I won't speak for Josh, but the journey of not hooping for 3 years during this build, what the fuck did I do that for? All right, let's get curious now. What really was it that didn't allow you to play? And so you just go down a rabbit hole of oh damn, that was just all my choices that led up to it, That's human behavior.
Deep beliefs.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I mean, and that's what I was going to ask you is how do you get someone out of that rut of, and you just explained part of it, but someone who says, I have low back issues, I can't do this ever. How do you break them out of that? Someone listening to this right now, they're I have low back pain. It's all the time. And no matter what I did, no matter what I was taught, it's never going away. I don't want to do surgery. How do you get them out of that? And what do you start with?
I think number one, it's stepping back and breaking the belief around at least the diagnosis, starting to show them here's the data. That does a little bit of getting the layer off. But the real deal is trying to change the perspective of what success looks like into actual skill attainment. Meaning, if somebody hinges horrible and has low back pain, if I make their hinge better, they're gonna have less low back pain, but we have to switch their belief system around, the goal is reduce pain each session to, did I improve the skill? Which is ultimately gonna give them the pain relief. So that's one, so we have to kind of set the beliefs around what progress looks like and what KPI, what key performance indicators they're gonna pay attention to. And then, and through the sessions of teaching them with the load, it's you're proving the proof of product as you go up in the weight, right? So then the belief gets stronger and stronger. So it's skill acquisition is where our goal is, but we meet them where they're at. They come in for pain. We have to really make sure that we, appreciate that and hear them out on that, but gradually pull them towards the skill acquisition, which then confidence goes up. Look what I'm doing now.
Yeah. That's a big one, the word, because I think this is where I messed. I actually, it's funny, I think I told you about an old client. I posted a picture of me and Josh from 2017 when we got our first table. Right? And it was just after like a messaging thing that we did, and I just needed a little bump of a spiritual bump.
First
right?
wins, man. Those are the best.
But I bring that up because an old client brought up the fact that like, hey, I used to work with you, and I totally remember her. She brought up the fact that I used to work with her, and she had chronic back pain, and it actually during the time like it just lingered, her back pain. It didn't actually get better, and she goes, I realized that it was because I wasn't doing my work. Like I literally wasn't doing the work that you were encouraging me to do. But then I kind of reframed it for her like, hey, I probably wasn't a good enough coach for you if you didn't actually see the value in it. Oh. So for that, it's like looking back at all these years, and still to this day, I still struggle with it at times. Like, how do I get people to see the value in what we're providing, whether it be the manual work or the exercises? But at the end of the day, like Josh said, it's hope. Like, how do we instill the hope so that it disarms the fear system so they can actually learn how to receive the information and then, like, prove it? Like, meaning go through movements that change the experience of maybe if you touch your toes right now and you have back pain and it hurts, if we did a series of movements and skills, did that change that experience within a matter of a 45-minute session? If it did, and you had this pain for 5 years, isn't that crazy that we can change an experience in 45 minutes?
Yeah.
That's a key distinction. We will call it out in the fact that like, hey, this is short term, but what you're seeing is an amazing ability of the body to reorganize itself.
Wow.
That's the cool part. So now it's a matter of how do we long-term change.
Yeah, and also getting individuals to realize that pain is an experience, man. It's not pain equals like 1 + 2 or injury equals pain. I always describe it like the bucket of water, right?
Yeah.
It's like, if you strength train, we give you a big ass bucket, right? A bigger bucket's the goal, right? The strength training. But we also need to remember we need to do recovery strategies, stress-related reduction, like breath work type stuff. That dumps some of that water out. So I always say, like, from training and PT's perspective, we have 2 entry points. We could dump that water out and then give them a bigger ass bucket.
Oh, wow.
That's the secret sauce right there.
Yeah, no. That's so you hear them out, you identify what they've been going through, and then you make them feel heard, and then you start guiding them to what they think is, I just need relief from this pain. But in actuality is, you need to start building or rebuilding this skill so you can start having this confidence so you don't even think about you being in pain anymore because you can do more things. Yep. Oh,
That's why the map is so important now. Because then, as you know, anytime we learn new subjects, like having an overview where we're headed is kind of nice, right?
Yeah.
So that when you're in the crap of learning something, you're like,
why am I doing this?
Yeah, exactly. Why am I doing this?
This is stupid.
Yeah.
Why do I have to push out your finger with my diaphragm? No, really, like, it's true, because it's social media, right? Like, especially in the recovery space, it's always like the coolest, the sexy looking stuff. Yeah. And from what I've noticed from your guys' content, it's really like, it's focused on, one of the biggest things that were standing out was you were one of the first guys I was watching about doing breath work. Like, breath work was always been there, but I remember, man, back when you guys started posting all your stuff, you guys were really emphasizing that. And I was like, this is not parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. Like, no one really talks about that. And that's what you guys actually triggered me to like really look into that stuff, because I've learned it, but I'm never like, I can breathe. Like, you know what I mean? But like going into it, I'm like, oh, it makes sense. So how do you introduce that to a client or client?
It's way easier now because everybody's bought into the breath work. But just side fact really quick, our breath is one of the only entry points into controlling the nervous system that we can't control consciously, which is called the ANS, the autonomic nervous system, which you'll get the fight or flight, sympathetic, and then the rest or digest, which is parasympathetic. And what's funny is if we hang out too much in sympathetic, which is like the fight, go, 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 coffee, Celsius, let's go, you're not in recovery state. So you end up in this chronic, non-recovered state, and actually pain is higher when you're in a sympathetic state. So yeah, that's why breath work, not only from a standpoint of the nervous system, why it's important to bring down for the ANS, but it's also important because we breathe, 15,000 times a day or something? 22,000 times a day?
It's a lot of reps.
Yeah, and if you're,
a lot of reps.
And you gotta think, if you're trying to do cleans but using your biceps to do the clean all day, now suddenly, why is my bicep hurt? We could correlate that to why does my neck hurt when I breathe, because you're lifting up your rib cage like a deadlift instead of your diaphragm.
That's right, like neck, like it's literally neck breathing, right? You're just using.
Just use this.
Well, you're supposed to use it when you're accessory breathing, meaning when you're like doing something at higher intensities.
Sure.
But not all day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, it's amazing. So yeah, I would go back to your question. It is easier now because of social media and the drive of mental health and breathing and meditation. But it's almost like you got to prove it. It seems like now it's like do the drill and then show proof of the outcome, and there you go.
Part right there.
Test, retest.
That's an important part right there. Just do that, because I think when we were definitely for me when I first learned it, I think I was also still trying to understand conceptually, like, why are we doing it? So I would talk it out, and it would sometimes overwhelm the client. Honestly, it just would. It overwhelmed them, and then I'm like sitting back, like, okay, I know it's valuable, but then I just realized I lost them because they don't understand the connection of why am I at their ribcage and pelvis when their neck hurts.
Yeah.
So now it's the test retest is a key component of getting someone's buy-in or trust. I don't like using the word buy-in, but the trust through a session is test and retest movements to see the validation of a movement changing their experience.
I mean, that's
Because you're trying to create a relationship that doesn't start with trust, without trust, and it actually helps with the test and retest because it's like you're showing them exactly how it's happening.
Helps us too. Like, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's supposed to happen.
It's true though.
That's right.
Dude,
sometimes it's not that clean. It's like, damn it. All right.
And what's the?
You work with a variety of clients. Now, what's the difference with working with high caliber athletes versus the everyday?
The everyday. Okay, so high caliber athletes. There's even a range within the high caliber athletes, but they tend to want to overdo.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's almost like you have to reel them back in. It seems like, it's like, but then the everyday folks, sometimes it's a little bit of an extra little kick in the butt to get them going. But there's a range in there too.
Yeah, there's a range in everyone.
We work with the everyday person that's like a get after it person. Like I train this dude 3 times a week, and the dude's like, he gets after it.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, but he's not like a professional athlete, even though the neighbors think he is when he pulls up. I gotta tell him that.
With his atherton gate.
It's a mini atherton gate.
So that's that. What are the most common injuries you guys see? What is the most common let me rephrase that. What is the most common injury that you guys see in the everyday person versus, well, I'm pretty sure it'll, like the high caliber athlete, like what is the most common thing that you see?
Yeah, lower
Back and neck, shoulder, left shoulder for the win.
Like just rotation.
The bicep long head on people, man. It's,
Even if they're right-handed.
yeah, I know there's a postural thing probably or something. But shoulder, neck, and back.
Yeah, those are popular ones.
Oh.
I thought it would be like, that's really interesting. It's just
What are you thinking?
low back or knees. But the left shoulder is so specific.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't see a lot of left?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's interesting. Well, just notice, like, just from a standpoint of our posture, right? Most of us have a depressed right shoulder if you look in the mirror.
Yeah.
And it creates like a pattern around that puts maybe more risk factor on the left. But then there is an overuse of the right if you're right-handed.
Yeah.
Do you have any crazy stories of like your hardest client you worked with?
I knew I was gonna. That was. Yeah.
You go first.
You go first.
I knew I was gonna get a reaction. It's gonna be great.
Well, there's a lot, man. I think.
Oh man, I got one.
No, you have that like. There's always that one client you're like never again.
Well, they're like professional athletes.
You don't.
Don't identify him, but you can just talk about it.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm not gonna go that route. But I'll go. Yeah, I have someone that we've been seeing for quite some time. This lady is an amazing person, and it's funny how you also as a coach evolve through time. Mm-hmm. But the person, I think in the beginning, depending on the belief systems around what this physical therapy experience is supposed to be, it's like, oh, you're supposed to fix me. But it's far from the truth now for us, right? It's like we have no responsibility in fixing anyone. Our job is to empower people, to put them in position to do the work, and then get a new result, right?
Yes.
And so I'm not going to go too much into specifics, but it's
Sure.
revolving around the idea of a person putting the responsibility on to and it's so hard. It's so hard. So I can't say anyone's crazy per se. It's more of just
I had some crazy clients.
Yeah. He has a lot of interesting. He can speak on more specifics.
No, it is. Like people coming in that are so set on their beliefs around what they need gets tough because then you're fighting an uphill battle. And then also the ones that don't trust the process, that it's not happening fast enough, jump around from system to system. And then try and tell you to do the system that they're just at, and it's like, why don't you just go to that system then? See?
Hey, I know what it is. Now I got a person.
That was years ago. It's years ago, but it makes you like when somebody is elite, and then it makes you like when they're telling you all these things, like you start even believing. So it's like being strong as a coach too, because it's easy for them to influence, especially if they're coming from a level that's like, oh man, you're elite.
So true.
Yeah. So hold strong and believe who you like, and trust in yourself and your process.
Yeah, I think he brings up a really good point, right? Because when you work with people that have been through it too, they've been through also, that means they've probably been through a lot of coaches. And you have to respect the fact that they have a wide perspective of what this is supposed to be. And so I think the true skill is like navigating those waters and not knocking down the sandcastle, right? Or what their belief systems are, but finding ways to give them a new perspective. And that's, I think, that comes with wisdom now, right?
Yeah.
We're a little older now.
I think the other one too, there's a little bit of a psychological thing too. It was a weird.
Oh, that one, yeah. But I'm just talking about like, navigating, even professional athletes and respecting that, like, dang, they're coming in with a strong belief on what this is supposed to be too. And so, like you said, you gotta believe in what you're offering too, because that has to come with conviction. Because that conviction people can feel. I think that's part of what, I don't know, I guess what me and Josh moved with, and as far as our energy in the beginning stages, is like there was just so much conviction in what we were offering. We tried not to overset too much of what the things that we weren't too confident in, but we just stayed convicted in our own belief and try to give that to the person as much as we can. And always good with good intentions, So.
Oh, that's solid. No, that's great. And I wanted to kind of dive into the difference with you guys versus the traditional sense. You kind of touched on it already, like the traditional path of, hey, you're supposed to make me feel better. Because that's majority of people that come in, right? Like they think about a physical therapist, so they're going to come in, they're going to get these like exercises, and then they're going to, or ice and stim and all that stuff. Like, what's the difference when they're walking in with you guys? Because I think that's the most interesting part of what you guys provide, is that when I did my service with you, it was very different from when I went to like Kaiser or I went into like a regular doctor, taking my insurance. Like you guys actually took your time and there was a process. Yeah. And so I would love for like our listeners to understand what that difference is.
I think a big one just off the top, the rest of the models, like from an educational standpoint, are catching up to this holistic approach. But that's where we thrive because that's where we've been for 10 years. It's your shoulder doesn't hurt because of the shoulder's showing symptoms. It's not the side of the problem. It's like the mid back, the spine, like the rib cage mobility. It's a holistic approach that we look at. So improving things that are away from the side of pain that then can reduce the stress at that area. I always think of it like a corporation. One guy's not doing his job. The rest of the people work harder and get pissed off, right?
True.
So we gotta make the other guys do their job.
That makes they're okay. There it is.
And I would say the human side, like Joey probably touched on that.
Yeah, because I'll speak for my specific story from my own knee. I remember just trying to get back to hoop, right? Started feeling good, man. I was like, oh man, feeling good in the weight room, loading up a good amount of weight, starting to get a little elastic again, after a while not moving that way. Yeah. Then I went to go play ball, and I played ball for 2 hours. And at the time, it was Jeremy's strength coach, Josh Fan. I worked with him for a couple of years. And he goes, bro, you haven't played ball in how long, and you're going to spike your workload by 2 hours? And was that a knee issue, or is that a me issue?
Oh, yeah.
That was a me issue. That was a choice. That was not a smart choice. But it just made me feel in my soul of how much I needed to also help people see things in a different lens, right? Because you can get so discouraged by going out and playing ball for two hours and think that all the work that led up to that was a waste of time. Because like, what am I doing all this for? But really, it was just a poor choice. Maybe I should have hooped for like 30 minutes and it would have been a great day. So it was just a poor choice in my behavior. And so, to Josh's point, the human aspect of it is probably one of the most important things that we need to make sure we are appreciating, because a lot of us are making, I would say, self-destructive choices at times, right? We may not be executing on certain things, and that's our job to build a relationship with someone so that they're vulnerable enough to share things that we may be able to catch that might be hindering their progress too.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing, because now you're actually humanizing the human of like, hey man, this is you. Hey girl, this is you. Like you can, it's up to you to get to where you need to go, and it just starts by one choice at a time. I think that that's great, because yeah, it's really easy to overlook that. I mean, 2 hours of balling after how long? Like,
What was this?
I wasn't competing at all. I got excited.
so do you ball now still, or are you in the league?
I was in a league, but I play with my family, try to go once a week. That's not too crazy right now. I got hurt actually a year ago today. I got freaking I got pinned between two big ass dudes, and I hyperextended my elbow right before my Taiwan trip. And from there, I was like, I'm gonna chill out in the league for now. So I started hooping with people that know how to control their body a little bit better, right? So versus people just throwing their shit at you. So it's been fun, man. Just playing with a bunch of my nephews, and it's been fun.
Dude,
Good. So it kind of reignited your love for hooping again, right?
Like just
Love for living, bro. Like competition and joy, man. Like it's something that we've been just this pursuit. It can cost you in ways that you don't even see coming, and you just want to make sure. I'm just trying to reground, man. Every step of the way through here.
It is wild. You know this too. When you do something you love again for the first time in a long time, it's almost like tears. It's like, oh my gosh, I forgot how good this felt. Why did I stop? But then it's like life responsibilities, and that's what we tell clients too. Circling back to clients, it's like non-negotiable time has to be set aside, man. Because we're all on our way like this. We're all down here. Do you want to be down here going that way or up here?
Right.
You better talk to Austin if you want to be up here.
I literally
Went to the gym today like 4:30 in the morning because I was like, yeah, like I gotta get it in. But it's like that time for yourself, right? But to your point of like reliving something that you used to do, like when I coach football, I get to sometimes when we don't have enough players, I'm like, hey, I'll play quarterback, I'll play running back, and I'm just like dicing it up. But after a while, I'm like, oh, my knees. Like, I see now. How did I do this for 5 hours a day? But no, it does make you kind of want to like, man, you're like living life when you're just moving. Yeah. You're just like, oh man, I used to be able to do this. How was the Taiwan trip? Like you guys?
That was epic, man. We got to work with the team over there.
Yeah, how did that go? Like, how does basketball work in Taiwan?
What part?
Yeah.
Everything, because I didn't know like the league, the whole thing. Like, what did you? It seemed like you guys were like VIPs, like everywhere.
It was fun. It was fun, man. Because so how it all started was, I think it's important to get a little context because, like, started working with. So Jeremy wanted to work with us, but then there was a little bit of a conflict of interest with just who he was working with because he didn't want to step on anyone's toes, right? But then he's like, you down to work with my mom? I was like, hell yeah, let's go. And so he ended up watching, and then 3 sessions were in, and I finally was like, man, I just want an opportunity to share, like this. I'm not gonna act like this is gonna happen again. So I was like, Jay, you got anything that's going on? Like, I'd love to just share the work, And so he's like, yeah. So lower back stuff and chronic stuff, and eventually he just shared for 15 minutes. Then they became 30. Then it became, hey, can you down to just do a day, and then 2 days, and then we basically agreed that we don't want any money from him. Wow. Like, don't pay, because what we value is your insight because of what we're building, what we believe in. And I say all this to say, at the end of that first off season, I was like, I'm also not gonna act like this is gonna happen again.
He shot his shot, man.
Yeah, so I said, Jay, hey, is it cool if I watch a game in Taiwan?
Yo!
Watch a game. And he's like, you sure? You wanna go? And then I let a day go by and go, hold on, I want to bring the team, bring my wife, bring my team. Josh, you trying to go, bro? And so it ended up being like, okay, let's go. And then, okay, videography and photography, they're down to go. Jeremy offered, and this says a lot about Jay. Like, he said, if you guys want to get content, bro, like, you go ahead and bring people.
Well done.
Yeah, and so
Beautifully done.
So we ended up going to Taiwan as a family, And that was like a dream come true, to be quite honest. Like, bro, like we never thought PM would take us all the way out of the country like that. And it was just such an amazing experience. And it just so happened that he actually was hurt during that time. So instead of actually watching him play, we got to work. So we got to work, and he said it himself. If it wasn't for that trip, he would have never flew me out in May to help during the playoffs. So blessing in disguise, bro. Like, that's why you just try to shoot our shot when we can, and do it with good intention.
I mean,
that's the truth.
Opportunity's there, you gotta take it. I mean, dude, that's great.
Most of us would be like, oh, I don't want to bother him with that.
Of course, but I mean,
To recognize that and to believe in yourself, that's, man, Taiwan. How was it? How was the food? Like, how was everything?
Oh God, it was a trip, man. Taiwan was a trip because first we had jet lag, but it was weird. I'd be wide awake at 3 a.m.
Oh yeah.
We would work with the team in the morning. Like, so it felt like for every one day, it was 2 days. Because we would it was weird. We would treat in the morning, like they would have all the, like we had like 5 or 6 players that would roll through, and damn, I never worked with NBA, like basketball guys. They're huge, man. Like I'm working with this guy, his foot, a lot of them are like NBA guys that came over too. Yeah, their foot's like that big. I'm like,
So you're like, oh man,
No, he's like this. He was like this, really.
it was weird. There's pictures, you'll see. You'll see. There's pictures. You check our page. They're good shots. So we would do that. It would be like 4 or 5 hours of kind of helping out and then observing practice. And then from there, we would have actually our family time where we would go and eat the food. And I'm not like big on seafood, so it was like an experience. But you got me to try a few things. But I was like, the dumplings are good. The food's hella good. Yeah. Cheap too. It was like $30 to feed like 15 of us, man. Yeah. It's crazy.
But this is where I got my rude awakening. It was actually a year ago, 2 days ago, we landed back in the U.S., I think 2 or 3 days ago. And my homie who came to the trip, Albert, so he's a friend from Seattle, him and his ex came, and we were there, and he sent me a picture. He goes, do you know what today is? I go, it was my wedding anniversary last week. And then I go, but I have a feeling you have something else on the other side of this text. And he sent me a screenshot. Bro, it was the first and only time I experienced gout.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that in my picture?
no.
I'll show it to you later. Dude, okay, so how it went, okay, I treated Jay, like, the day like, before we left, all right? This is like 5 p.m., treated him, and then we had to bounce, dude. We had to, like, get our stuff, get to the airport. I'm walking to the airport, in the airport with everyone, and I'm like, dude, my big toe is feeling hella stiff, bro. And I was like, in my head, I was like, oh yeah, we walked a lot. No, really, that's what I thought. So I'm like, we're in the lounge, I'm like mobilizing my big toe. I'm thinking like, all right, let's see. So I'm like, man, this thing hurts, dude, what the hell? Not even crossing my mind that it could be gout. Then I go and get on the plane. So I think it's me, Jen, Josh, Heather, I think. And so I'm like, fuck, this hurt. Like my Nike Vomeros felt like they were about to explode. I took off my shoe.
It's a big ass elephantitis.
Dude, 12 out of 10 pain. Like you touch it, I empathize with anyone that has gout, man. Cause like I touch it like this on the skin. It felt like 12. So speaking, and this is how funny we are as people, right? Cause when I got hit with it, especially when I got home, I was like, bro, no way, dude. Like, the hell? I went right into victim mode. I was like, nah, dude. I'm way more healthier than a lot of people. They don't have it. But I was like, nah, dude, look in the mirror, bro. No. So then that triggered me to move forward with okay, that's just kind of like a sidebar. I ended up moving forward with my boy Matt Manalo to help me. But that was from a byproduct of that. But also at that time, Josh was inspiring that whole team because he was getting after it with his body, his mind. Like you saw the shift in everything he was doing. And so that's part of this whole thing about having a partnership in a team. It's like, bro, like we'll have moments like that where I was so embarrassed, bro. By the way, it was the most Instagram engagement I ever got.
Oh, people love to see that stuff.
People were throwing the Filipino flag at me. Like,
bro.
Hey, I'll welcome your official.
Come on, man. So,
anyway, yeah, so that changed my life because I was like, all right, I have some changes to make in my life, so it was good.
It just sneaks up on you like that. Wow. But I mean, it's probably because
You were eating.
We ate a lot of stuff, and then we also went out a couple nights, so probably that.
So it's sodium and alcohol?
Yeah,
meat.
probably. So
alcohol.
It's all good. It's all good. But maybe that's what I needed though to shift a little bit So
Oh,
I'm grateful for it now.
That's so
That was, bro, that was very humbling, and I don't wish that on anyone.
Because I have a few relatives and they said it sneaks up on you like that. You're like exactly like you're just chilling, and then all of a sudden it's like,
Why are
what?
you chilling, bro? We have a jersey pick with Jeremy. We're like, I had no pain, bro. No pain. And then 12-hour flight, it felt like I was gonna explode the whole flight.
Oh man.
So it was pain that whole flight.
Yeah, but
Luckily, I'm pretty good at sleeping on planes.
Oh,
So then I was able to knock out. But then the next 2-3 days were rough, man.
That's an experience too, being in a little plane for that long, like big shoulders.
Yeah. look at these shoulders. And Jen was like,
How was the game? How was it watching there and all that?
the thing is, during that time, none of the players, like Jeremy was out, and a lot of the main players were out because of injury. So we got to experience it, but it wasn't.
I got to feel like VIP. They put me on the court.
Oh yeah, that's it.
man,
Yeah.
We're sitting there, and then it's like scary. They come jumping at the ball. You're like,
But it was, in that context, it was really good though. Like, I mean, man, I love hoop, so to me, it's always an honor to be able to watch a game. So.
No, that's good. And
And what's next for you guys? Like, what are you guys working on? If you guys want to share any of that, or what's next for PM?
Next is the mini high performance facility. It's not mini though. It's not so mini. It's 7,000 square feet. But
wow.
yeah, so we're right now our model is really like our team is spread to different gyms, like plug and play.
Yeah.
Like if you had a space, we'd plug in a therapist
Yeah,
here, be on site.
Guys in here forever, but no, I know. He's down the street. That doesn't make sense. I had to shoot my shot. I was like, come on, man. I'll put a 10 up for you guys.
Come on. No, but yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, going from the model of being plug and played into now consolidating the team into one place with the ultimate goal of the ease of access of all the different practitioners. So we have chiro, we have massage, we have trainers, we have physio, and now being able to have the client come in the door, the physio or chiro creates the plan of care, and then ultimately kind of helps them find who can help them through each stage of the roadmap. So that's where we're heading.
Yeah, and I think the big part is like, because we can keep doing what we're doing, but it wouldn't serve the vision of what we're actually trying to build, right? Mm-hmm. And I think what I'm excited about personally, like he's been on the road doing a lot of concierge work. I've been at the Union City Home Lab for 4 years. Getting to a point where it's like, man, I feel like even I need to see the community of what we're creating, And I think if we believe it with that much conviction, I can't wait for the staff to actually see it also at play, and also Josh's clients meeting my clients and everyone else's clients. Like that community of what we're building, like I feel like that little spiritual bump's gonna be so beautiful to see because of all the work that's gone on in the last however many years we've been doing this. So.
Well, from experience, it's not going to be little. It's going to be epic. It's going to be big because exactly what you're talking about. That's how our gym thrives. Is so-and-so's clients talks to so-and-so's clients, and they start hanging out. Then all of a sudden, everyone knows each other, and now we're going to do a Spartan race together. We're trying to get everyone together. Cool. Like it's community stuff, and that you guys are bringing your home together now in a physical space. But it's going to be great. It's going to be you're going to tear up. Yeah. That's what it is. Because there's times here where the staff won't know it. I'll walk in and I'll just I got to pick up something, but it'll be busy. And then those are the times where it's like everything that you worked for, and then you see your staff and then the clients connecting, and it's like, damn, this is great. It kind of gets you in the moment. So I'm excited for that for you guys. Where is this?
Can you talk about that, or
we don't? It's not official.
Okay, so the Greater Bay Area.
No, like Redwood City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Redwood City.
Okay, well.
Okay, good. I mean, I'm just saying, that's exciting. I know you guys are trying to be all step by step by it, but I'm excited for you guys because that's a big step. I've seen where you guys were, and then where you guys had to pivot, and where you guys are going now. It's an inspiration, and I thank you guys for coming on here and sharing all that. Is there anything else you would like to share with our listeners going through their own journey of trying to feel better about their own pain, or what they should do if they feel lost?
have a question actually before that.
Sure, ask me. Yes.
Is there practitioners on this other side of the listeners, or is it mostly like clients and
I think it's a little bit of both.
a little bit of both? Can I say something towards the practitioners or in the
You can say
trainers?
whatever you want. Yes.
I think I was just talking to Tyson, one of our guys, about our branding and our new not pivot, but like just kind of our stake in the ground of like who we are. But I was just thinking about what a privilege it is that we all of us here work in the field of movement, right? Because it's pretty widely accepted that we need movement in life, but really it's just a gateway to help someone explore another part of themselves. And I think as trainers, coaches, to not let that get by you, because I think sometimes when we're in the grind of it, you could forget about the gift that we actually have. And I was talking to Josh about this because they're so focused on growth. Sometimes you can lose sight on the appreciation of what we have right in front of your fucking eyes. And I'm guilty of this all the time. Because I'm so future focused, vision, oh my God. But then it's like, bro, like look in front of you. And so to anyone out there that's feeling burnt out in their job, ask yourself an honest question about where you are. And if you don't feel like that's serving the greater good for yourself and what you're here to do, challenge yourself to think about another possibility of where you could work. Because there are companies out there that want to help you align yourself with what your why is, your purpose, and seeing how it intersects with its own mission. So don't forget that, and also just encouraging you to keep going so that you can help someone on the other side.
Yeah, and for the clients, it's a journey, but strength is everything, right? Strength training is everything. It's what gives us the buffer. So if you don't have a coach, get a coach, talk to Austin, because they can create the roadmap that can get you to where you need to be for the strength side of things. Because if you strategically load, you won't feel worse. You won't feel worse. You'll feel better and better and better. There may be days where it's a little bit more sore, but if they strategically load you, you're going to get to that goal and get a bigger bucket so you can hold more water and less pain. So the other thing is don't give up. Yeah,
Give up.
Yeah, a lot of us age because we stop doing the things we love. It's like keep moving forward.
Oh man.
Don't give up. That's a big one. No, it's very simple. People say it, but no, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys, Joey and Josh from PM. Where can they find you? Where can people find you? I'll put your links on the show notes, but Instagram handles, all that?
Yeah.
Instagram's good. Yep.
You're big on the
Progressive
stories.
motion.
Yeah.
You're on
Progressive motion,
TikTok
our
too,
personal.
YouTube,
Yeah, we got all of them.
Yeah, all of them actually now.
whatnot.
Probably more active on Instagram.
Yeah,
I would
Instagram
say.
pretty active.
Easier to get a
I
hold
think
of us
that's
there.
what it is now on Instagram.
Yeah, it's just easier.
That's good.
I'm trying to build my following up.
There you go.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Get it?
Look
Let's
at Daddy.
go. You'll get it.
One follower at a time. Good deal, guys. Thank you guys for coming on. This is Coach Austin at Hyper Strength and Conditioning with your Nerd Out and Workout podcast, and we will see you guys later. Keep bye.
You do that every
Oh yeah,
I like that one. I like that.
All the time.
I like that.